Nientia Kevin Taylor ba Ghana ne nyina ne se ompese omo ba Ghana ne se eye for a purpose. Eye for a purpose. Na me hwe nkrofo bi a omo no ta kire se President Mahama term na anya yi a wo mo pe president ya die no. Eye mesere. Se woto a wodi wo di se akwanya bi aba ya pone vice president ya ma. Akwanya na aba o. And I appoint vice president Yamamu because propaganda will be and I have food soldiers and I say and on no idea do my so on food soldiers. What did Kroma and people were by mu? What did you man Cassiana? Or we are no had that born to the new radio show and now Mahu said Mona Mobraya and a party by on film a new Cassiana Sani Pana no born to the new on an air. Nano me de war Monoma Yano. Na niema me publish wo kroma no muyamba semo me da hide madi kanaka obia ni wo ba free ba bia ba kase soro ho fam bia ba kase jai ane de wo di agoro mo amodi adwuma kase mo didi wie ye no na mo insati famfo no di tia party no ya no wo bika mo fizi de betemu na ma fa ho de ko ene de agro na mo die obi antimi stop saade no obi nobody in ampipi na betuma stop ya na mo be ko no sa pepepe kopinse be wie be ma bia ni kroma otem be ma bi oto ye be ma fa be ho ne ye ntenam okwa no physical be kwa no physical okwa no spiritual wo be duro na me wo ho nti die mbiem Baby, I'm Fabia, but do not want to, and I forget about it. And not the Amfre India, bottom beer and fre, a ye malam beer, and Taphobia, and so Mokoma, Muska, no Moquatana, Musidi, or Mona Monsia Pro, or Mutikumasi say, or Monia conform, Monsia Pro, until Moki can quas a summer. What try me obey, until for Jimmy Natanas in our own men few. Santa Fona Mokobo, Mopa, Muo Kumasia. Omo so ma ben omo wo bibi nti on ba betra me wo tra me you die eno de nyame na maye nyame na makun eye wo wasema wo na wa betra na wawu eye wo wasema unya ya mistake tra dia wo kwa me nka nkyere obi ase me no obi anko kasa se monye ne nkwa na wo no unya sa nyama we nyina wi a no wa ben site sa nkrofo na e se unya adwuma wo de bo omo no against the MPP, against party leadership. Because why you who gangari obi antimi nka wa nze. Oh boy, this time the Accra last stop. Unya kwa ni move na sa kwa niema na wo ye ya ka ho bi na NDC ba ya. Ene Professor Jenana Opoku Adimai, Vice President. Ajan sembi esere. Nsembi esere. On all year meetings, say 10 na nyama so dia. Inche say o president yedi. 10 ne dia mame me catch on na nwumre. Say one kasa no wonfo aso. Ofo aso, wanfo aso. Me kan wo fidie so say 10 no anya yie ne, anya yi otena. Ha, mo de interpretation free. ECOWAS court ba. Mo de interpretation free. Ayi West African court. Mopekra monfant interpretation and free him a court of Hague mra yen nyimfa enya adwuma interpretation no mu ye wi a ebeka judges no botom no mo de akofi akomo mo yire no mo ma enya adwuma o ene de any judge bia oba interpreti article 66(2) say say President Mahama betima kobie no panel members no wi a judgment no wo monfa nse o mbotom nkoche. And for more, say, this is the judgment. Now, Moira no man fan chichim morning dawa. And your judgment, ever ye do croma. Attend the cannot catch them. Say, a reasia babia court to Niwa, obey yes interpretation now. A drew high at the bedroom near yen safe, yan nympha yaduma. And to my me. Tell me the end ye. Namom nientia. Meetings ya hodwa wa free asie ye so tete ne paja because no why you who say we a hypocrite because don't say President John Dramani Mahama be who say we are against the third term bid no enti no musia na o kan no wa hedesere o se de na ensi so we are hypocrite we yam pa ne meetings ya we ya ababe piem anim no president Mahama third term agenda no mfoa so but e pa omubo nyina omu committee a wotimbi na krai panta wo mfoa so enti wo nso wa firi ase ye meetings a wo pe president ye di oh ene de ka mesere MPP fo say sa contest we o momfa mame ka ye nuru ano ho ne magya no kwai ene de mesere MPP fo say wo de wo momfa mam just 1 month pe enye election year no kra just 1 month pe o momma mene no ye mfantum say ye kwa abato ye nuru ano ho ne magya no kwai Antino, just how ye hypocrite, which yana se president Mahama invite you as a vice president first agenda no one. Just how seriously dear be enru yamnu. Don't be hypocrite or bapanyini dear be free yam say one for us. Not just how free meeting as ria. Now so acquire meetings upon meetings here. Wo burden crop for all the regions say, Open President here. The entire would wo force you mark Kevin Taylor and you sue a mining security. A facilitator here all the filing fee one be for free office and a decor lawyer no and no more file application no all the filing fees. A Yahoo aid and a driver here at the filing fee ni call lawyer no office at the command me boa kasa me boa.
Continue.
Madam yeti krom hano emfa nipa fa ye mu binum ni agro mami yeti krom emfa ye mu binum ni agro me say filing fee no every office straight because the office of the president is here me no kasa no some appointees our president Mahama office any Kevin Taylor will problem yes President Mahama the president office, Judge Bauer and Co, the secretary of the to the executive secretary to the president, the senior presidential staffer, Judge Bauer, any Julius Debranum Ninano, any Kevin Taylor will problem, and that is a fact. And to who now fight today, facilitating everything at their back door. Any security for Kasai. How to protect Kevin Taylor because Kevin Taylor Baba Yewaduma as a presidential candidate amount. Because what the neighbor said, oh, me didi, so no betina Ghana dia, obetima konka, obetima didi, Julius Debratem, obetima didi Asiedun Katiatem, obetima didi Harun Edrusatem, obetima didi Erikopoku Numatem, because we say Kevin Taylor dear Basse on Sato Modawa. Obetina Ghana ha all the presidential aspirant no you believe in Kevin Taylor you have the confidence in Kevin Taylor say obetima shato omo down ayusu station all the equipment wato ama Kevin Taylor ba set it down e Ghana we know na say we amakan e be baso life to say TV na Ghana for be ka say oh here TV there information there e haya na obetia free ehaya na abatia free me no ka say machines ya Kevin Taylor be set up nyina no Professor Jane na na to amano all because our presidential agenda and to onam nyina no omompaye se me pa hoden na mom ne mpaye obo ni nyina no say third-term agenda no ebe paja an sampaye ne de o pesampaye ano ohye pa brame ho mebo biama because nkaye de enim say ka oda mpaye a wo bo paye ahoden mpaye ba sampaye no mo obi da bia so ti asia mpaye a wo bo ne say third-term agenda no entimi nya yie ne chese wa ba race no sampaye ne de me no fo aso ene de op fasting ene mpaye amu oduru enye nkrofo bi de amebo ma na ye yie se be ya third-term no emfa na mom se wadwini sa akwa we and ever shut it down Julius Debra Udini Babe face Julius Debra because Julius Debra were media stations or more boys who are more hard doing and say we prepare Kevin Taylor now money studio na a presidential prime minister na obetimatna Julius Debra station in council obetime attack erikopokunom obetime attack asiedun katia say asiedun katia na we sem ayi ono ni media house na wo nanum asiedun katia ono ni media house no bi ne de wo nanum nti ono ano ayi radio station onam nti wo de na ba enu nti na wo te hu fifire say Emma Kevin Taylor back passing all my national security protecting it throughout the state. A filing man is car, a man who aid in a discount, a call lawyer no office. More file application in now. We know. And yet I can say on authority send a course one. President John Dramani Mahama, a brand publication by say Kevin Taylor court Supreme Court no and said on no cry away. Oh, commodity a course war and now compensa Baba Ghana no a Professor Jena Najimai and a year. But President Mahama can't tell them agenda and also it's good. Oh boy, bedroom baby about recordings and you'll be shocked. You're near my tent here. You're about recordings. I'm a mamma not to office about some mamma. Yes. Baba some meetings here oh yeah for one BC no my boy recordings over some mama until you didn't walk case na akoswo na wo na wo facilitate no eno ho asem na me bekan yem fa bibi anto nten yes ye nyina ye gitum say Honorable Kennedy Agyapong edidi judge atema na asase ho asem eye den ekoswo our producers monhwehwe saa ayinu mame yegitum a undeniable fact say odidi judge na tem because all the case kokotwa na say ofi say case in favor na wo media station you don't go to the media station to attack the judge and to the judge na tem no and a judge no issue contempt proceedings against you. Then you run to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court koko kwase yate. Because say what nothing na say also ye NDC lawyer. Anti both MPP for be no more compare Honorable Kennedy the fact say me ni what issue no. Mo compare sa cases ni me no a. Enye ye me dey say the assembly steer no. The fact say me ni what issue no nche say me hu no kra menka. Say the assembly steer sa na meka no. Mo compare Honorable Kennedy Agyapong case no to Kevin Taylor de na. Enye ye because Kevin Taylor case no time e wo mramu. Na na kire mu time e wo mramu enti mo mayen tenase. Men kasa mene ni wo issue ntino na me de compare say Honorable Kennedy Agyapong ye bi no Supreme Court kwase ye na NDC lawyers na potu social media say the same thing in the case of the Republic versus High Court as parte Kennedy Agyapong mo compare bia mo sa lawyers na mo draw sa comparison mo law awu the facts of the case are not the same the issue ye kan wasem enye the same ayi Nyedi kan Kennedy Agyapong de no or attack judge no and a judge no issue contempt proceedings and a Kennedy Agyapong call Supreme Court within that month na no and a Supreme Court to kwase judge ni decision no so fact Kevin Taylor de na the law of sexual right lawyers na omuntie me no they should challenge me where a legal issue na ye kan wasem na yen fan hwese Supreme Court judgment no omu follow legal process ya na omu follow their own rules omu follow law due process no omu follow ya na enti Kennedy Agyapong de na ye that simple ya issue contempt and High Court issue contempt we did judge atem into okwa Supreme Court to say woman kwase the judge ni ye no ana okwa no wakwa we ni ana alfa Kevin Taylor de na odidi judge na tem no And a judge ni issue contempt. The law of contempt. Me pe lawyer ni a. Obetima frame number. Na me de na call lie. No aka say yes anete. The law of sexual right no. Se kwa to bia take decision. Na se decision no. Ene 23rd July 2025. And a judge say, Yemfa Abronye emra ewo nanim. Na Abronye metre di entia yes I think contempt ya enye yi. And na 23rd no me were up to 6 months to challenge the judge decision in the form of or by way of certiorari application. And you take a decision in 23rd July 2025. Me was 6 months to challenge the decision by way of certiorari application until July to January 23rd, 2026. Not just say 6 months na emrane kire say judge bi take a decision. Not say me person me go by certiorari application. The law is that you have 6 months. After 6 months, you cannot apply for certiorari. That is the law. Lawyer for them free. Number no, ewa free. Amafa message bra. Sameboa. That is the law of certiorari. Say, and 23rd, judge take a decision. Some person may appeal. Nam pese certiorari ne kire say. Me kwakwa to akwashi decision no different from appeal. Different from appeal. Appeal there wo kwa for the entire proceedings ni nyina say court no ntenase no onye re-evaluation. But when there wo kwa say omunko to that particular decision ngu because baby atichema eno ne ye call by certiorari application. Na mramunu time a wode be call for certiorari no and that you take a decision no who was 6 months na wakwa ko challenge certiorari application no ofa Kevin Taylor de na you take a decision no 2020 February 2020 and now 5 years near 5 years 5 months. Adia mrane kire say you can only challenge a decision by way of certiorari application within a 6 months period. After the 6 months expire, you can only go for an extension of time. So what Supreme Court wa? Supreme Court no mubu asem no. Where the High Court rules no, or 6 months to challenge a decision of the High Court by way of certiorari. What Supreme Court or the Supreme Court rules no? Emma ho kwan say ubekwa by way of certiorari application. You have 90 days. That is 3 months. Rule 62 of CI16. Supreme Court na ankasa womu di asem no womu wuru su ne say some person challenge decision bi e was Supreme Court wa. Oh, 3 months to do that. In this case now womu di kwa Supreme Court no, it was a High Court decision. And it's a High Court decision there. So we should see I-47 in there. Now Kevin Taylor was 6 months to challenge that decision. Only 6 months. From 2020 to 2025. How many months? At therefore, Samna ye can about Nenchira Munina no. And to so bit Babina or criticize the Supreme Court ruling now. Say na 70 and until a lawyer Sinibinum say, we a political judgment. Say na something that mean probably about challenging me. Say, Sama make me boy. abawie yes Supreme Court akasa obia ankwada wa officer yembe how no to bentwa esi wunchen Supreme Court akasa ubo wa ye de bentwa na akakaduro betua amakoyirawa meswa kan ho bi man ben nie se ubo wa Supreme Court de bentwa meswa akakaduro siri wusa fam wisa nyina be kan ho e de agya okwane asembe nie enti lawyers ne binum say a political decision of which I agree with them perfectly. Yes, you have 6 months, the statutory period within which to challenge a decision by way of certiorari, 6 months. That is statutory period. Case we had the hot 2020 up to 2025. 5 years, 5 months. Na say 6 months no expire. Your free be extension of time within which to file. And to ba kwa kwasre court no say nanka me wo akwanya se me challenge decision no. Na mom enam circumstances binti akwantuo ni adwuma mu nti yade bi ebo minti no that 6-month period no mantimi an challenge decision no ama 6 months na so enti court no extend emra ne mame per the rules of the court no wo ho kwan se obehwe explanation na wo de ama no na expiration na aka wa want man call for that application no na court no I extend no ma grant request na yede ama. In this case Kevin Taylor one, the most surprise thing is that Kevin Taylor call for extension of time say 6 months period you know awino into a court no say wo man extension wan call because onimnie na oye. And one say, what the dead application no course for sesorari are within the law no awu. And here bisa say, court no ultimate nasi. Esuo mo 2 years say, even though a time now we Kevin Taylor to come by way of sesorari by a grantee extension and watching your kwasi decision nana. These are the questions I say besides Supreme Court. And we have every right to ask the Supreme Court questions. Criticizing the Supreme Court does not amount to insult. Criticizing the Supreme Court does not amount to insult. Yeah, me did judge be attempt to send Kevin Taylor. Did judges for them. And my judge Barbie say, Accra be one of the Supreme Court judges, a Kempana. Producers monthly video number on what kind or so my judge Kevin Taylor and my judge 24-hour ultimatum say obeguna nimase judge was Supreme Court for your bar or say on ya crabby trimpana yeah me did judge be at no bina crabby trimpana would they demu any day dem I know you was him and ya no yaka now we have every right to criticize the judgment na ya bisa questions say Time Kevin Taylor apply for extension of time within which to apply for to apply for a certiorari. Time Ben will apply. And it's court here on the court own motion and not grantee that extension of time now. I'm yet to receive the ruling. Our Tranapa. Near de bana de baba. Near baba mnimashe how at the end here. But man quite sansi say ya make come wasemi. A piano Kevin Taylor follow yeso. 6 months deadline no I come and yes I call for extension of time. 1 year bibia. And on what basis? And a near can cross Supreme Court. Etime assuming jurisdiction a determine matter no. Because the application even the application ankasa before the court no are incompetent. Application is incompetent. And how come a Supreme Court will preside over an incompetent application and gave a ruling to favor a nipana or the incompetent application by. These are the questions we should ask. One, the application is incompetent because 6 months period to apply for a sexual no come. There was no extension of time for him to apply for that sexual right. And the court to know on what basis. Wamwana in their own motion, Wamaka say, even though Asukrana, Wama grantia manana, incompetent application. And ye bisase, inka yani bi, obia oni biye, obia wa insa one prison wako ria banchi. Ena time aso say 6 months, court wa share say 6 months, onye bibi, ena 6 months na pa ho. And a nippana this application by ya. Supreme Court to be granted manana. We are asking, Sanko be granted manana. These are the questions. And Friday, you digest one more reason, no. Naya dia to Tony American society. And Supreme Court to know any right to say, one more in their own motion, no. One be granted Kevin Taylor. Extension of time, one requested for because it's a sexual application, and it's a time not a nipanam follow rules no, not so the application not application out of time. Supreme Court no, and Yamuna mobile quarter to be application amano. And Yamuna mobile quarter to be application for sexual before the Supreme Court no, not Kevin Taylor was out of time, and Tayada grant man. Producers, mumisa questions, the application Kevin Taylor was out of time in the sexual application. So how comes the Supreme Court a granting application applicant out of time? Or you out of time the application is incompetent and dead on arrival. And Obia will write, I will side with the lawyers now. Wamonka say a bad precedent. What say? Yes, a bad precedent. Say somebody who was out of time, somebody who is out of time to apply for a particular application. Now 1 year, not judges need to meet last year. Near say they are granted. Mutimima incompetent application by incompetent at the apex court. At the apex court, incompetent application by competent. And you think some of us young can want some incompetent application. Not time I read Nimpano. Now or this application now by Supreme Court to entertaining. Rules now modi ya jumano e Supreme Court. The rules say even in your own decision, Supreme Court decision, if you want to challenge it by way of sexual right, you have 90 days. So how come a Supreme Court will sit down and preside over an incompetent application? 5 years sexual right application. Not the very decision now all challenge you know. At the 5 years, 5 months. Why? And you think say, Obia so say, o can Supreme Court to be free say koto ni emfa bentoa entry out. Yabaka wasem. Yankoya nim ene asem kese asi.